Hi guys, today we are going to be continuing our work with watercolor. This time we are going to be exploring some possibilities with transparency. You guys used the wet into wet technique last week. This is a different technique. The way that it works, you still get to blend colors, but the way that it works is that color, you lay down a layer of color, as I've done here, and then you let it dry completely before adding another layer of color. The idea is that you build up your color slowly in thin layers to make different colors. This is really, helpful when you're going to do things like, make something complicated like a portrait, where you have to have many different layers of color to get the right tones you're looking for, or the right shades, the right temperatures you're looking for in your work. So this has lots of overlapping and glazes in it. So we're going to practice this in a really kind of simplified form on some watercolor paper. So if you don't have watercolor paper, the thickest paper you've got is fine. So what I've got here, I've gone ahead and done this ahead of time so you wouldn't have to sit here and watch paint literally dry. So what you need to do first is all the way across the whole width of your paper, you want to do stripes of all of your 12 colors from your color wheel. All right. So I've started with red, and then I've gone to red, orange, then orange, yellow, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green, blue, blue, violet, violet, and red, violet. So I used, the order from my color wheel. It's just kind of, instead of in a circle, these are just arranged into a flat page. The reason I have done these all in stripes is that I am going to come back and do a second layer of all these same colors, all 12 from the color wheel, just crossing over all of these colors in the other direction. So by the time I'm done, I'm going to know what all 12 of my basic colors from my color wheel will look like when I've got a glaze of each color from the color wheel on top of it. So this will give you a good idea of what your colors are going to look like in glaze form. All right. So I am going to go ahead and paint my all of my 12 hues going in the other direction. Again, I'm just going to follow the order of the color wheel. Take out your color wheel and look at the order of your colors, and go ahead and start yours. You're going to want to, after this first layer goes on, you're going to want to give it a couple moments to dry. You don't want to do this second layer of glazes until your paint is totally dry. You're also going to want to make sure that you're cleaning out your cup of water regularly. Get some nice clean water to paint with. So that's my glaze of red. You can see that I didn't go with the most opaque version of this. I could. It's not a super light tint either, though. It's kind of a little bit of water, but I am working with transparency here. So you can see there's a little bit of difference here with the yellows. The ones that really stand out against the red are the cool colors. So let's try that again, but with red orange this time. Of course, use your primary colors to mix your secondary colors and your tertiary colors. Here's my red orange. All right. yellow by orange. It's good to put a little bit of space between your strips or you're going to get some bleed into the other colors you're just laying down. So I got these a little bit close and I'm noticing they're bleeding a little bit. So just like the first ones have a little bit of white space in them, I would recommend spacing these out just a little bit wider. To be 100% honest with you, I was worried that I might not have enough width on my paper for this. So I was kind of being a little conservative with my spacing. So if you've got room to space them out a little bit more, I would recommend doing that. Okay, so I've got red, red, orange, orange. Next will be my yellow, orange. Give it just a little more space. And I feel like I've got more paint on my brush when I start at the top than when I end up at the bottom. So that time I started at the top and then moved all the way down. Then I refilled my brush and I went back up to the top. Hopefully that's going to make my color a little more even. And that way I get the most accurate version possible of my color. Next will be yellow. All the way down. And I'm going to reload my brush. All right. Yellow, green. When you get into your darker hues, you can see that in order to get that transparency, you have to actually add a little bit more water than you would with your lighter hues like yellow. Just the value of yellow is so much lighter than the green. I really can't water yellow down very much because it's already very light in value. It's really easy to lose it. But also, you know, I have to be thoughtful about my greens and my purples, especially because they are so much darker in value, and lighten those up as I can. So now I've got red, red, orange, orange, yellow, red, red, orange, orange, yellow, orange, yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green. So the next will be blue, violet, I'm sorry, blue, blue, violet, violet, and red, violet. So you're gonna see, you know, similar reactions to like what happened when you mixed color. So here, for instance, I've got like my violet and red overlapping, and I do get a sense of red violet here underneath because those two colors are, sorry, I'm talking about this one right here. Yeah, I do get a sense of red violet here because those two colors are overlapping. And it will look a little bit different as it dries. You could also, you know, pay special attention to the areas where you've got, you know, complementary colors overlapping, like what happens when you overlap your complementary colors. We know that should be desaturating our color and making it look less bright. So see if that's true. So I've got blue violet, I just have violet and red violet. I think I'm gonna have enough room for everything. So exciting when that happens. And there you have it. Here is a transparency chart. You know, pay special attention to, you know, what the colors look like as they dry up. Where are the colors that really appeal to your eye? Are there any colors that are like, oh man, those colors should never be next to each other? Are there any that really, you know, stand out to you and are very beautiful? I love these like overlapped purples and violets and blue violets myself, and I think they look very nice together. There's also something really cool about the green next to the more sort of orangey yellows there as well. I'm gonna look forward to taking another look at this when it's fully dry. Again, it's gonna look significantly different when it's fully dry. Watercolor always does. Remember, as you're layering across this way, you know, the spacing, a little bit more spacing between is going to be better to keep it from bleeding across. All right, I can't wait to see your chart.